graphics I can include in this course. I didn't know how to explain this point. I would have been wondering yesterday, but this morning something would have struck me, and I wanted to try it out immediately and win more sponsors, win more students, and win more likes and views to my course online. So that gush of students was motivating me, and now I've got it. What next? The next module which I'm creating, I'm still stuck again. That enthusiasm has died down. Now I have to think again, and I have to motivate myself again. I have to put myself again uh, to generate the same amount of interest. This up and down also is okay in Kailasa if it is real passion, that is what is driving you. But again, in a corporate world, in the outside world here now, this won't work. I have to drive myself with the same intensity, same passion till the last minute. And the more I finish my delivery within the deadline I have been set, the more I'm really what a good corporate employee, meeting the expectation of the management, all that. But this is ultimately telling on my health. I actually contracted diabetes, and when I came to Swamiji for my inner awakening, I contracted diabetes, and I came the conditioning that I have to have my food on time, and I wondered how I'm going to manage my food. What if my program actually spills beyond time, and will I be allowed to eat at the right time? I wondered all these things because, as I said in the introduction, that I was a very logical person. So, will I be allowed to eat on time? Whose permission should I ask? What? All these things are running inside me. But I came to realize that actually that pattern, that fear pattern broke in me, and believe or not, that was the first time I even did my Nirahara Samyama. And whether my diabetes got well or not, diabetes got set right or not, my fear that I should eat on time, I should eat a certain quantity of food, that fear got broken once and for all. And now I'm telling myself, and I'm telling the outside world also unabashedly, that diabetes is not any health issue at all. Especially if you are in the Kailasa ambience, it is not a big deal. So this is one of the patterns that got broken in me. And when I deliver my course, when I do my work based on any deadline and not true passion, it is not going to serve anybody any purpose. See, on the outside it might look that I have delivered, but then it is sure going to die out. That the initial impression that you might like to create, that you might want to think that you have created in the opposite person, the person for whom the course was delivered. Initially, it might seem like, yes, I have gained his impression. I have gained the good, got into his good books. But it is not going to sustain for long, is what I see in the long run. Because it is going to, once it is delivered, okay, what next? That's the greed. It is only going to make me more and more greedy. But in this Kailasa ambience, when I think through, when I understand how things are working, when I understand how people are choosing what they want to do and how they are going ahead with what they are delivering as far as established Kailasa ambience is concerned, it is driven by pure passion, and that it in fact has got its own impact on how the whole thing is perceived by anybody on the outside. When it is driven, see, I got to know this even how the Adi Kailasa was constructed. Back then, the way to the entrance from the gate to the entrance, actually the floor was not cemented, and I was angry with Swamiji for not doing that. Come on, when you are having an international organization, can't you have a cemented floor to welcome people, is what I used to get angry. And then I realized, come on, the whole thing is constructed out of only volunteerism, and he's already given a beautiful ambience. Is what this again one more dimension in which my pattern got broken, my logic got broken, and everything is delivered. And it is rough. The floor is rough on purpose because it is going to activate your acupressure points on your soles. If you have a too smooth a floor, then that will not happen. So everything is there with a purpose. So these might appear as little things. As I said, a lot of my logic got broken in the Kailasa ambience, and it continues to get broken. So there's no explaining it in one phenomena in depth. Maybe I can't do it, somebody else can do it maybe, but a lot of logic got broken like this. And Kailasa is a very beautiful ambience on the whole, because it is intended for enlightenment of conscious growth. This can never be uh, flourished in any other way than what Kailasa is providing to the world. I mean, many dimensions, Kailasa is making this happen for the entire humanity. So we can't thank Swamiji enough for how he is doing things, the way he is manifesting it. So somebody can ask me direct questions, maybe I can put it, because I can't. I'm not able to imagine in one particular point and say like this.
Yes, yeah.
So thank you, Maharaj.
Yes, yeah. So I might need to interrupt the float here, but we have actually a very opportunity being presented to all of us right here and right now. Swamiji will be coming and joining very soon. Will be joining us very soon for the live satsang, and you'll have the opportunity to post your questions on the topic of superdeterminism, which Swamiji has been speaking about continuously the past couple of days. If you have a question which you want directly the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to answer and to clarify, you have that opportunity, that chance today. You can post your questions with the hashtag superdeterminism and with the hashtags as the avatar on Twitter. And some of these questions will be taken directly to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and he'll be answering them directly in the satsang today. So if you have any questions, anything you would like Swamiji to speak about related to the topic of superdeterminism, please go ahead. Please feel free to go ahead on Twitter and post with the hashtags superdeterminism and with the hashtags as the avatar. Your questions will be selected. A few of the questions will be selected and get an opportunity to have them answered by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism directly. And with this, I'm going to take today's pre-satsang segment to the next part of today's discussion, which is the Bhava Samadhi Darshan. So extensively, we've spoken the different ways how society is enslaving humanity. And through different ways, different methods, through various names, humanity is suffering on so many different levels. So the solution to all this, we've discussed how humanity is suffering and why that's a bad thing and how it's becoming some sort of an unpreventable state. How can we get rid of this? How can we heal?
Hara Hara Vaidishvara Paramashiva, the only Purusha, infused life in all beings, enlightening the world through His grace. But when His truth is forgotten, out of ignorance and darkness diseases arise. Given birth only in the recent days, it hits all the countries hard. Ruthless towards vulnerable communities, the pandemic is at full throttle. Leaders are urged to monitor health inequities and to ensure access to health services. But yet, the pandemic's momentum is hard to overtake. When the world is overwhelmed, when solutions are not made available to all, the divine remains the only option. Engaging in prayers, beings yearn for the divine grace. seeking refuge at the feet of the ultimate being, Paramashiva, Vaidishwara, and at his feet no prayers remain unanswered. Out of pure compassion, he assumed human form to bestow his grace upon his devotees.
Name bhakta pranashyati. My devotees do not perish.
Raise yourself by entangling with the avatar. Receive the blessings and direct healing and protection from Vaidishwara himself. Hara Hara Vaidishwara, Paramashiva, the only Purusha, infused life in all beings, enlightening the world through his grace. But when his truth is forgotten, out of ignorance and darkness, diseases arise. Given birth only in the recent days, it hits all the countries hard. Ruthless towards vulnerable communities, the pandemic is at full throttle. Leaders are urged to monitor health inequities and to ensure access to health services. But yet, the pandemic's momentum is hard to overtake. When the world is overwhelmed, when solutions are not made available to all, the divine remains the only option. Engaging in prayers, beings yearn for the divine grace. Seeking refuge at the feet of the ultimate being, Paramashiva, Vaidishwara, and at his feet no prayers remain unanswered. Out of pure compassion, he assumed human form to bestow his grace upon his devotees.
Name bhakta pranashyati. My devotees do not perish.
Raise yourself by entangling with the avatar. Receive the blessings and direct healing and protection from Vaidishwara himself. Hara Hara Vaidishwara, Paramashiva, the only Purusha, infused life in all beings, enlightening the world through his grace. But when his truth is forgotten, out of ignorance and darkness, diseases arise. Given birth only in the recent days, it hits all the countries hard. Ruthless towards vulnerable communities, the pandemic is at full throttle. Leaders are urged to monitor health inequities and to ensure access to health services. But yet, the pandemic's momentum is hard to overtake. When the world is overwhelmed, when solutions are not made available to all, the divine remains the only option. Engaging in prayers, beings yearn for the divine grace. Seeking refuge at the feet of the ultimate being, Paramashiva, Vaidishwara, and at his feet no prayers remain unanswered. Out of pure compassion, he assumed human form to bestow his grace upon his devotees.
Name bhakta pranashyati. My devotees do not perish.
Raise yourself by entangling with the avatar. Receive the blessings and direct healing and protection from Vaidishwara himself. Hara Hara Vaidishwara. Paramashiva, the only Purusha, infused life in all beings, enlightening the world through his grace. But when his truth is forgotten, out of ignorance and darkness, diseases arise. Given birth only in the recent days, it hits all the countries hard. Ruthless towards vulnerable communities, the pandemic is at full throttle. Leaders are urged to monitor health inequities and to ensure access to health services. But yet, the pandemic's momentum is hard to overtake. When the world is overwhelmed, when solutions are not made available to all, the divine remains the only option. Engaging in prayers, beings yearn for the divine grace. Seeking refuge at the feet of the ultimate being, Paramashiva, Vaidishwara, and at his feet, no prayers remain unanswered. Out of pure compassion, he assumed human form to bestow his grace upon his devotees.
Name bhakta pranashyati. My devotees do not perish.
Raise yourself by entangling with the avatar, receive the blessings and direct healing and protection from Vaidishwara himself. Hara Hara Vaidishwara. Paramashiva, the only Purusha, infused life in all beings, enlightening the world through his grace. But when his truth is forgotten, out of ignorance and darkness, diseases arise. Given birth only in the recent days, it hits all the countries hard. Ruthless towards vulnerable communities, the pandemic is at full throttle. Hara Hara Vaidishvara. Paramashiva, the only Purusha, infused life in all beings, enlightening the world through his grace. But when his truth is forgotten, out of ignorance and darkness, diseases arise. Given birth only in the recent days, it hits all the countries hard. Ruthless towards vulnerable communities, the pandemic is at full throttle. Leaders are urged to monitor health inequities and to ensure access to health services. But yet, the pandemic's momentum is hard to overtake. When the world is overwhelmed, when solutions are not made available to all, the divine remains the only option. Engaging in prayers, beings yearn for the divine grace. Seeking refuge at the feet of the ultimate being, Paramashiva, Vaidishvara, and at his feet, no prayers remain unanswered. Out of pure compassion, he assumed the human form to bestow his grace upon his devotees.
Name bhakta pranashyati. My devotees do not perish.
Raise yourself by entangling with the avatar, receive the blessings and direct healing and protection from Vaidishvara himself. Hara Hara Vaidishvara. Paramashiva, the only Purusha, infused life in all beings, enlightening the world through his grace. But when his truth is forgotten, out of ignorance and darkness, diseases arise. Given birth only in the recent days, it hits all the countries hard. Ruthless towards vulnerable communities, the pandemic is at full throttle. Leaders are urged to monitor health inequities and to ensure access to health services. But yet, the pandemic's momentum is hard to overtake. When the world is overwhelmed, when solutions are not made available to all, the divine remains the only option. Engaging in prayers, beings yearn for the divine grace. Seeking refuge at the feet of the ultimate being, Paramashiva, Vaidishvara, and at his feet, no prayers remain unanswered.
Connecting with the divine, with your eyes closed, is meditation. Connecting with the divine, with your eyes open, is darshan. Come, let us all now move from meditation to darshan. Slowly, very slowly, please open your eyes.
Abhayam tarum lingam Ananda Nityan Tanda Ananda Lingam Pini நீக்கும் உயிர் காக்கும் ஞான ஒளியாக பூத்த நித்யானந்தன் தந்த உயர்லிங்கம் ஆதிலிங்கம் ஜோதிலிங்கம் அற்புதலிங்கம் ஞானலிங்கம் நித்யம் தந்த ஆனந்தலிங்கம் ஆதிலிங்கம் ஜோதிலிங்கம் அற்புதலிங்கம் ஞானலிங்கம் நித்யம் தந்த ஆனந்தலிங்கம்
Vande Guru Paramparam. Welcome all the devotees, disciples, Samajis, Satsangis, Sri Mahans, Tanedar Kotari, visitors, viewers, Mantreshwaras, Vidyeshwaras, Ganeshwaras, Lokeshwaras, Astreshwaras, with my love and blessings. Paramashiva's message directly from Kailasa. Liberating yourself from obsessive, compulsive, reactionary pattern and its suffocation is liberating yourself from delusion. Listen. The greatest suffering is identifying yourself with your obsessive, compulsive reaction and suffocation it brings in your life as you. I'll repeat. Obsessive, compulsive, reactionary pattern. You identify yourself with that pattern and not only you identify yourself with that pattern, all the suffocation that pattern brings, you start blaming everyone other than you. Artist, I tell you, this is the worst delusion in the life. Even if you drink a cup of coffee, because of the obsessive, compulsive, reactionary pattern, it is drinking poison. Because the coffee is going to strengthen this obsessive, compulsory, reactionary pattern. Obsessive, compulsive, reactionary pattern. Listen intensely and listen carefully. If you just understand this one message from Paramashiva, you will pull yourself out of all delusion. All delusion. This obsessive, compulsive, reactionary pattern, you strongly feeling that pattern is you, and all the suffocation comes with that pattern, you start blaming everyone around you, saying that they are all suffocating me, instead of looking inside and solving it, attending to it. And listen carefully. Every time a disciple listens to my words, my instruction, Guru Vak, he is blessed, protected, showered. I am telling this to Indu Priyal directly, because she walked out of one of her biggest obsessive, compulsive, reactionary pattern, listening to my words, Guru Vak. I tell you, when I give you a Guru Vak, I put my hand exactly on that obsessive, compulsive, reactionary pattern. When you listen to Guru Vak, not only you escape from all suffocation, side effects, after effects, you are showered with all the blessings and auspicious. I can give you 1,000 examples, or I can give you millions of examples. Every time when people walk out of their obsessive, compulsive, reactionary pattern, they save themselves from tons of sufferings. They pull themselves out of delusion, and they are showered with all the good things. One of the most beautiful quality I have seen with Jnanatma, I will train her, scream, all that is different. One beautiful quality. End of the day, she will simply obey me. Guru Vak is the ultimate. She knows only by obeying me, she will get out of that obsessive, compulsive disorder, that obsessive, compulsive, reactionary disorder. That one decision Jnanatma has, obeying the Guru Vak, that saves her from all the mess and all karmas and all delusions. I tell you, I have saved millions of people from their sufferings, suffocations, delusions, just by directly pointing out their obsessive, compulsive, reactionary pattern. If I have to give a rough equivalent for the word trobhava, delusion, I'll give this word only. Obsessive, compulsory, reactionary pattern, associating, identifying yourself with that pattern, and suffocating yourself and blaming everyone. Oh, this person made me to believe this pattern. This person is suffocating me. This person put the pattern in me. This person is torturing me. You blame everyone around the world other than taking the responsibility and completing and getting out of it. And I have also seen people waste their time, money, treasure, the life, talent, everything in stupid sicknesses. Actually, there won't be sickness. It is just obsessive, compulsive, reactionary pattern becomes so deep in their system. Even they started lying to themselves. They lie to themselves so strongly, they manifest, they create diseases inside. Actually, there is no disease outside. But if you tell them, they won't listen. Actually, they don't have any disease. But if you tell them, they won't listen. So I will also tell, okay, give medical care, do whatever they want. Only when they realize the Guru Vak, they will get out of the disease. I tell you, I have made thousands of people achieve liberation, enlightenment itself, just by breaking this one pattern, just by breaking this one pattern. Obsessive, compulsive, reactionary pattern. Same way, I have made millions walk out of their diseases, including cancers, just by giving Bhasma, sacred ash, and helping them to walk out of this obsessive, compulsive, reactionary pattern. I have seen how people create delusions, suffocation, suffering, torture themselves and others with this obsessive, compulsive, reactionary pattern. I tell you, if you break from this pattern, you will start living in Anandamaya Kosha. Most of the time, your laziness is obsessive, compulsive behavior. Your irritation, anger, hunger, almost everything which suffocates you, binds you, is obsessive, compulsive disorder, reactionary pattern. When I give a Guru Vak, I'll precisely put my hand on that only. See, only one Guru Vak, Bhagavan Reddy obeyed. I gave him one Guru Vak, stop watching movie. That's it. He asked me, can I watch this movie, that movie? I'll stop Telugu movie, but can I watch this devotion? I said, nothing doing. Stop watching. And I tell you, not only the wealth, the kind of a success, fulfillment, everything he is enjoying now is just because he obeyed that one Guru Vak. Just only one Guru Vak. And I know within next few years he will become billionaire. Not just millionaire, billionaire. Just listen. I am telling you the success stories of how breaking from your obsessive, compulsive, reactionary behavior liberates you, makes you feel success in the life. Whether your hunger, anger, fear, sex, violence, guilt, all powerlessness is your obsessive, compulsive, reactionary pattern. Same way I can give you the other side. How when people don't understand, their whole life is destroyed. One fellow, he was even brahmachari in the Kailasa, in Adi Kailash, in Indian Sangha. His name is Vishnu Bharani. I am telling the name because no other way. Only if I tell the name, you guys will understand. His father was a great devotee, very sincere devotee. He came and cried to me that his son is behaving very weird and somehow to heal him. So I studied his whole energy, father's energy and son's energy. Father has done some crime in his life. That karma is following him. And that has become like a demon possessing him. And that same thing is happening to his son. Because he is a great devotee, he somehow started strongly connecting with me. I decided to save him. I said, all right, let him be here. I told the son, that Vishnu Bharani, let him be here. I will heal him. And you be away from him. I don't want both of you together. So I sent the father back home and he was here in the ashram. He slowly started settling. That ghost, bipolar, started healing and he started getting healed and settled. But this stupid fellow, the moment he is healed and he becomes all right, his arrogance comes up and says, I'm going. He ran away. I said, all right, what can I do? But after a few days, he realized, being in the hometown, I think he's from Ooty, he was not able to maintain his health physically, mentally. He collapsed and he came back. His father also came and cried to me. I said, all right, let him be here. I forgave and I accepted him back. Again, after some time, he started beating others. I said, now what can be done? And the Adinavasis came and started complaining to me. Oh, he is beating, he is behaving abusively, he is attacking all of us. I told him, don't do this. Be polite. I told all the Adinavasis also, just support him, it's okay, he is possessed and he will become all right. He was in Madurai that time, Madurai SSJP. I was not physically there with him. So I told it will take a little time for him to get healed. Just tolerate and support him, treat him, feel him that he is a patient and just support him. But that fellow has become so arrogant, he called his father. I told the father, hey, listen, both of you have that same ghost. And both of you are not understanding. If you guys are together, be very clear, one will kill the other. Unfortunately, both of them are not ready to listen. That reactionary, obsessive, compulsive, reactionary pattern the ghost, the karma of his crimes has taken over them so powerfully. He took the son and both of them went. I tell you, maybe in few months, within few months, I clearly warned them. Both of you will kill each other. Actually, father died. I told him, see, both of you, the kind of energy you guys carry, you will trigger each other just by your presence with each other. In Hindu tradition, we have a great science called Jyotisha. That science is given for this purpose only. You can see what kind of energies run, what kind of traits run in that person and guide them. I told so much, but both of them, when they were possessed, both of them thought, I am asking the son to be in the ashram to make him work for me. Stupid fellow. He neither contributed nor worked. What a possessed fellow can work? And he's beating everyone around. I told the others to tolerate him. Finally, the father died just by the pressure created by the son. He had a heart attack and died. Not only that, immediately when I came to know that father died, the son realized what I said is true and he begged me, save me, save me. I said, all right, at least now come back to Rajapalayam Adinam. You be alone. Just be there doing some Goseva, all that. Settle down. But unfortunately, his arrogance, he did not come. Now he has actually become mad. Not only became mad, few days before he is sending me the message, you hand over the whole Sangha to me. I want to go for Parivraj Yatra with the whole Sangha and you take rest. I thought, oh God. And then after a few days he is messaging. Everyone around me thinks, he is messaging that everyone around him thinks that he has gone mad. And he is afraid others are going to kill him. Now itself I am putting it on record. Be very clear. I am putting it on record. Still he is not killed. I am telling you, either he will kill others and go to jail, or he will be killed, or he will commit suicide. No other way. Because it has gone out of my hand. Nobody can save him. Nobody can save him. Even if we give a separate ashram for him, he doesn't want to stay. That karma in the form of ghost has taken over him. His obsessive, compulsive, reactionary pattern is so strong now. Nobody can save him. Now I put this on record in public. Any one of you try to reach out to him and tell him, educate him, you can't save. He won't listen. Either he will kill someone and go to jail, or he will commit suicide, or somebody will kill him. Because when he tries to attack and tries to kill someone, naturally they will, for self-defense, they will kill him. Unfortunate. Knowingly we can't save people. Obsessive compulsive behavior pattern is too dangerous. Extremely dangerous. Yesterday I have felt such a deep job satisfaction when I saved Indu Priyal. She is worthy of being saved because she is such a sweet person. She was actually literally getting sucked into a very dangerous, self-destructive, obsessive, compulsive, reactionary pattern. Her listening to my Guru, my words, just saved her. I have so much job satisfaction. Whenever I liberate people from this obsessive, compulsive, reactionary pattern, I tell you, I can give you thousands of, recently, Jyotika and Bhaktika. Bhaktika has so much anger towards everyone around her. I made a rule when the corona started spreading in India. I sealed all the ashrams because I know even if you don't die by corona, your power manifesting ability will greatly be destroyed and drastically reduced if you are attacked by corona. So I sealed the whole ashram, all ashrams. I was so vigilant. But this Bhaktika, such cunning, extremely disobedient, anger, violence towards everyone. Bhaktika and Jyotika both. It's like a ganging up. Did not shut down the Tiruvannamalai campus just because I put them as in charge. They thought it is their ashram. Did not obey me. This just obsessive, compulsive, reactionary pattern. If some rule is put, we will not ask why, what, all that. We will just crash. We know how to cheat. We know how to break. So that gives a kind of a kick. Finally, who suffered? Bhaktika suffered corona. She did not die. One good thing. Good thing she is alive. But now, how much I have to work to make her do power manifestation? To recover her, to manifest powers. Same way Jyotika. So much violence on everyone around. She did not wait 5 minutes in Madurai SSJP for Annamaya to open the gate. So much anger. Oh, I have come. You can't open the door. Why are you making me wait? She just went away to Rajabalayam. They came and reported to me. I said, okay, let her face her obsessive, compulsive, reactionary pattern. She just fell into chicken pox. Only one pattern. I said, all right, if they are not ready to listen, I told so much. Drop this pattern. Behave yourself. Bring Paramashanta inside your space. So much I told. It's a directly guided, but did not listen. 5 minutes it took for Annamaya to open the door to let her in. Just for that 5 minutes, she can't stand out and she went away to the other campus, branch, other ashram. I said, okay, let her face her pattern. Just next day, chicken pox. Yes, she will be out of chicken pox. I will protect her, heal her, all that. But the pain, she only has to go through. I can give you thousands of examples. One of the worst pattern for Jyotika is she will be so loving and caring in the phone. Same person, if she sees in the directly, physically, face to face, she will literally destroy that person in anger and violence. She can't tolerate people. I said, this is your obsessive, compulsive, reactionary. Don't destroy yourself. Work on this. I tell you guys. Some of the best people I have are those who broke all the obsessive compulsive reactionary patterns. I gave just few Guru walks to Guru Charana to break her obsessive compulsive reactionary pattern. She took 1 or 2 years to work on it, but when she broke that, she started manifesting such power. Anyone she talks, they get physically healed, mentally healed, consciously getting enriched. They become part of the Sangha. They are also enriched and they start enriching others. It's a power manifestation. I tell you guys, I can give you millions of case studies for this side. People who obeyed, who listened and broke their obsessive compulsive behavior pattern, obsessive compulsive reactionary pattern. Same way, I can give you the example this side. People who did not listen and started judging me. Oh, he's asking me to be here, I think, to get work out of me. Who wants your work and what you guys have done? I tell you, instead of making sannyasis, if I just get people higher and make them work, if they don't work, fire, I would have achieved 1,000 times more work with 1% of the money I spent on training my sannyasis last 20 years. Last 20 years, the money I spent on training my sannyasis, time, treasure, talent, everything I spent on training my sannyasis, brahmacharis, balasans, Kailasavasis. Even 1% if I spend and start hiring professionals, they would have done 1,000 times more work. In this training of the sannyasis, how much of wealth got destroyed? Not just their inefficiency, their violence. I know some of the fellows who are brahmacharis, when they are angry, they will destroy digital equipments like cameras. They will throw. I tell you, if I bothered about the productivity work, if I adopt the strategy of hire and fire, hire people, get the work done. If they don't work, fire. I would have got 1,000 times more work with just 1% of the money I spent on my sannyasis and the money they destroyed in course of their training. And not only that, these many of the Adinavasis, so-called Adinavasis who come, when they do big crimes like destroy too much money and too much things, they just disappear. Don't want to face. But they cannot escape. Karma is going to go after them. You can't escape from karma. Only the Guru's protection will save you from karma. When you do Guru Droha and Sangha Droha, how that karma can be escaped? No one can escape from the karma of Sangadroha or Guru Droha, wherever they go, it will haunt them. Whatever good you have done to Guru and Sangha, that good karma will come. Same way, whatever bad you have done, that bad karma cannot be escaped. You can't escape from that bad karma. Only an enlightened being does not have karma. Only an incarnation can save you from your karma. Listen carefully. When a guru gives a guru walk, never judge him. Oh, maybe this is the reason he is telling that. That is the reason he is telling. Yes, no reason other than taking care of you, liberating you, saving you. Many times I have told people, hey, this is the time you and your husband should be away from each other. You and your mother should be away from each other. You and your brother should be away from each other. Means when there is a karma trait, karma connection running through them, one agitates the other with extreme compulsive reactionary patterns. I tell them, be away, be separated for some time. It will be good for you. Otherwise, both of you will irreparably destroy each other. Whoever listened, obeyed, they survived. When they try to give their own reason for my guidance, then who can save them? That is up to their life. Same way, sometimes I will tell people, hey, you be with this person will train you and clear all your obsessive, compulsive, reactionary patterns. That's why exactly I told Jyotika, be with Annamaya. She will exactly point your obsessive, compulsive, reactionary pattern, and you have a great opportunity to complete and liberate yourself. She was not ready. Then I said, all right, what can be done? Guru walk can save you from wasting years and years in pain and suffering. In your obsessive, compulsive, reactionary behaviors and patterns. Same way, not listening, giving your own reasons for Guru walk, and not listening to Guru walk, and not breaking this obsessive, compulsive, reactionary behavior pattern, suffocating yourself. Who can save you? I don't know. Some of the best people I have seen in my life, best disciples I have produced, are the people who broke this obsessive compulsive reactionary behavior. Some of the worst people I have seen are not breaking this obsessive compulsive reactionary pattern and suffocating themselves with it and blaming everyone for it. Sometimes the instruction will be too simple. Once Dhyanatma was suffering in a pattern, I just told her, you shave your head, that's all. Just shaving the head. She became all right, completely all right from that pattern. She just saved herself. Sometimes even repeatedly advising people don't listen. Dvaita Varchita, I am telling you clearly, no medicine will heal you, nothing will heal you. Only aligning to Kailasa lifestyle, to Guruvak and Kailasa will heal you. You try anything you want, nothing will heal you. Go anywhere you want, nothing will heal you. You are suffering with obsessive compulsive behavior pattern, that reactionary pattern, and you suffocate yourself with it and abuse everyone. Nobody can save you unless you come to the listening to Guruvak. Same way Purna Priya. The way you are building your arrogance, you will destroy yourself completely. Purna Priya, you are crossing your limits. You will see. I am putting all this on public record so that you guys can verify later on whether they broke their obsessive compulsive behavior, that reactionary patterns and suffocation, and saved themselves or destroyed themselves. People think their obsessive compulsive reactionary pattern is very cute and they identify themselves with it and they feel that is their freedom. It is like calling your shit as your food. Your shit can never be your food. Your tumor can never be your muscle. Build muscles, not tumors. You are trying to associate yourself with your cancerous tumors. You think your cancerous tumors are your muscles and that's very cute. No. Understand what is your cancer and what is your muscle. Not understanding is not cute. when you don't understand and don't listen to Guruvak, the way you destroy yourself becomes irreparable, irretrievable. In few days, I'll give you guys the update about this Vishnu Bharani. Now, I told openly, some of you, maybe your his friends, try to call him and advise him, protect him. You can't, because he won't listen to anyone. That karma, that ghost has taken over him. It has already killed his father. Now it is running through him. I felt so bad because I told the father so many times, hey, don't you understand? You already tried. He came back when he thought he is all right. But what happened in few days, you know. Why are you doing this to yourself? He thought, oh, my son has become now all right. Why should he not work for me? Why should he work for Swamiji? Hey, he's not working. He's only hitting at everyone. He thought we are like a mental asylum. And once the boy is healed, he can take him back. I said, hey, it is not that he is permanently healed. It's a karma trial. But what to do? Even after his father died, only few days he had that clarity. Oh, I missed the life. But then again, the delusion came back. I can give thousands and thousands of references. How people destroyed themselves with this reactionary, suffocating, compulsive behaviors. And how they flare up with that reactionary, compulsive, suffocating behavior. Dvaitavarjita, don't worry, I will never stop spending for you. I'm not talking because I need to spend money on your health and your treatment, nothing. No, I will never stop. I'll give you more than what you want. If you ask for 1,000 things, I'll give you 1,500 things. I'll say, have this also and enjoy. But you should know very clearly, you will never get out of your problems. Because the problem is pattern. Your arrogance, not real disease. There is no real disease. And wherever you go, you won't be able to save yourself. I know it. You will only destroy yourself and others. Same way Purna Priya. I don't know whether they are even listening. They may be hearing. I don't know whether they are listening. I can give 1,000 examples. I know one fellow who all the time used to give torture to everyone in the name of he is having back pain. I told him, hey, all you need is just yoga and get out of this pattern. He thought, I don't want to spend money on his treatment, but I spent so much. And I never said no for money or treatment. I said, have all treatment you want, but no treatment will help you. Know that very clearly. It's a pattern. You just need yoga and get out of this pattern. He did not listen. He disappeared. Now, because he disappeared, whether the pattern is there or not, pain is there or not, he has to tolerate and live and justify his decision just to prove his decision is right. He will suffer all kinds of patterns and he won't be able to handle himself. I have seen all kinds of people, and now almost 27 years of public life from 1996, and 41st Chaturmasya is coming. This year Chaturmasya will be 41st Chaturmasya. I think at the age of 3 I started the first Chaturmasya. So this coming Chaturmasya from this Guru Purnima to Navaratri will be 41st Chaturmasya. This 41 years of spiritual life and 26 years of public life, I have seen all kinds of people. Let us all plan together this 41st Chaturmasya. Let us spend on Shastra Adhyayana, spiritual scripture reading and empowering ourselves through the spiritual scriptures. Let's make this Chaturmasya as a special for spiritual scriptures reading. Vedas, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutra, all the commentaries, books I wrote. Let's spend time and energy on studying it and enriching the whole world with it. I have 3 projects. Want to do these 3 for this Chaturmasya. All over the world, at least in 100 countries, I want the Rathotsava to happen. Like taking the chariot, how we used to do in India, Kodikan Darsana Radayatri. The Ratha with Paramashiva will go from one place to another. We had many Rathas in India. It will go from temple to temple, place to place. And we had, even in Malaysia, we had Ratha, Rathotsava. Same way I want in US, Canada, all the countries where the Sangha is large enough. I think more than 100 countries we have Sangha large enough to conduct the Ratha Yatra from Guru Purnima to Navaratri. That's one. And from Guru Purnima to Navaratri, I want all the 100 countries, Annalayas, to be open to people. Give free food with the free library. Have a beautiful large library for people to come and read. and free food. One book, my Bhagavad Gita, will be gift. They cannot take any other book from the library. All books they can read, they can eat as much as they want. When they go, they can carry any amount of prasadam they want. One book, Bhagavad Gita, my Bhagavad Gita commentary as a gift. I want this project, Annalaya, food for stomach and food for consciousness, both, to be provided in all our ashrams all over the world. I think we should start printing Bhagavad Gita now itself and distributing it to all the ashrams all over the world. Procure all the food, everything needed. All the ashrams should provide this. In all countries all over the world. All Kailasas should do this. One, Ratha Yatra. Second, this, Annalaya and Jnanalaya, open. I tell you guys, if you start serving others easily, you will get out of many obsessive, compulsive, reactionary patterns and suffocations, because obsessive, compulsory, reactionary patterns are always centered on selfishness, arrogance, violence. If you start serving others, everything will become all right. Everything will become all right. Listen carefully. The first project, Ratha Yatra. Even in Ratha Yatra, we can do Annadana and distribute Bhagavad Gita. Second project, in all ashrams, opening the library and Annalaya freely. I tell you, this is a special instructions for Los Angeles temple. If you want Paramashiva to manifest intensely in the temple and in your life, all Los Angeles Sangha, listen. If you start these two projects, Los Angeles Sangha, if you start these two projects, in temple free Annalaya and Jnanalaya, and distributing Bhagavad Gita to people who come to temple, and free food. Whatever food they want to carry, they can carry also. If you guys start doing this, wealth and everything, all the best things will be showered on you guys. And Paramashiva more and more will manifest in temple also. Now it is up to you guys. The third project, it's one of the best spiritual practice, Madhugari Bhiksha. Go from house to house, door to door. Collect whatever people can contribute. One handful of rice, $1, or any small 1 kg vegetable, anything people give. It is not just fundraising. That is the way to reach out to people. I tell you, begging is the best non-violent spiritual way of mobilizing a spiritual movement, mission. Now I revealed this secret. Begging is the way. I led this whole spiritual revolution, this revival of Kailasa. Begging is the most powerful, best non-violent methodology of mobilizing people for any great revolution. Buddha used it. From the time Hindu sannyasis used this, from time immemorial, Adi Shankara used it. It is given as a lifestyle for sannyasis, not just to collect something from people. That is the way you will reach out to people and enrich people. This is the most powerful non-violent way of mobilizing people for a spiritual revolution. Whoever listens to me, understand this. It's a most powerful strategy for a spiritual revolution. Go around from house to house, place to place, collect handful of rice or $1, whatever they can give. In the initial few days, you will not understand what I am saying. But within these few weeks, within that 4-month Chaturmasya period, if you start on Guru Purnima, and by Navaratri, you will realize this, what I am saying. This is the best way to mobilize people. Non-violent way of mobilizing people for a spiritual revolution. Revival of Kailasa. Whatever may be your background status, every day decide to spend 1 or 2 hours. Madhugari Bhiksha for Kailasa. Over. You will see the result. That's the way I started. This whole revival of Kailasa. People were mobilized using Madhugari Bhiksha as a strategy. See, the moment people see me coming for Bhiksha, they know I am not here just for food, because they know, hey, this person, does he need food? You can see how satisfied and fulfilled he is. He doesn't look like a beggar. Then he is here for some other reason. They get curious and inquire about me. Who are you? Why are you here? What is happening? Then they get connected when I explain everything. And then they join me. That is the way this whole revival of Kailasa happened. I can tell with all pride. நாங்க பிச்சை எடுக்காத ரோடே இல்ல, நாடே இல்லடா. நாங்க பிச்சை எடுக்காத ரோடு இல்ல, நாங்க பிச்சை எடுக்காத நாடே இல்லடா உலகத்துல. That is the way, the most non-violent way. I mobilized people from all over the world for this great spiritual revival of Kailasa. This great spiritual revolution, Kailasa. You should carry Bhagavad Gita books with you. Even if they give $1, you should give them one book. Then they will understand you are not here for begging, collecting, you are here for giving. But when you want to give, nobody opens themselves up. They feel, why should we receive? But if you are asking for something, they feel superior and they try to give. And then after they give, if you give the book, they say, okay, give. If you directly give book, they don't want to listen. They don't want to hear. They think you are here for converting people. You are here for brainwashing people. You are here with some cunning strategy. Go with a begging bowl and ask them something. Then they open up. When they give something, give them this book. This is a prasada, please have it. That's it. If you beg, you will open more number of people's heart than if you give Bhagavad Gita to people. Begging is the most powerful non-violent strategy for mobilizing people for spiritual revolution. You would have never looked at begging from this angle. நாங்க பிச்சை எடுத்து பச்சடி பண்ணவங்க இல்ல கிச்சடி பண்ணவங்களடா, பிச்சை எடுக்கிறதுல PhD பண்ணவங்கடா. So understand this science. பிச்சை எடுத்து கிச்சடியோ பச்சடியோ பண்ணவங்க இல்ல நாங்க, பிச்சை எடுக்கிறதுல PhD பண்ணவங்க. Let us plan for this 3 project. For coming 41st Chaturmasya, so with this, the essence of today's satsang is break from all obsessive, compulsive, reactionary behaviors, patterns, and stop suffocating yourself and stop blaming others for your suffocations and stop using others' name. Oh, they put this pattern on me, this person put this pattern on me. Dvaita Varjita, for you only. Stop blaming others. This person put this pattern on me. That person told me to be like this. Stop blaming others. Your life is in your hands. Blaming others will not save yourself. And I have also seen people telling, oh, I tried my best. I feel like I will lose my mind will break. Ah, God. Actually, your mind should break. That is what is enlightenment. If you feel that your mind will break, you will lose your mind, you should you are on right track. You should break the mind. You should lose the mind. That is the way enlightenment happens. Now I have seen people telling, oh, I feel like I tried my best. I feel like I may lose my mind. My mind will break. Actually, you should lose your mind. That's the way enlightenment happens. You should break your mind. That's the way enlightenment happens. Enlightenment is the state beyond mind. Oh, I tried my best. There is nothing called trying your best. Simply doing it is the only best. Nothing else can be called as best. I tried my best is the cunning way of cheating yourself. With this, I bless you all. Let's all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Shuddhatvaita Saivam, the state, space, powers, being super consciousness, and Kailasa of Paramashiva. Let's all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Paramadvaitam, Shuddhatvaita Saivam. The state, space, powers, being, super consciousness, and Kailasa of Paramashiva. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. The eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you. Be blissful.
श्रीकैलासोन्नतद्वादशान्तश्यामलापीठारूढ श्रीमीनाक्षिसुन्दरेश्वरा भिन्नस्वरूप परशिवपुत्ररत्न कुमार गुरुमण्यतुल्यावतार श्रीपार्वतीस्तन्यपानलब्धदिव्यज्ञान विश्रुतसकलनिगमागमसारभूतद्राविडवेदप्रवक्त्रे श्रीमत्परमशिवकरुणासमधिगतमुक्तामयचतुरश्रयान् गीयमानछत्रचामर श्रीचिह्नकाहलादिसमस्तबिरदावल्यलङ्कृत ज्ञानविज्ञानचक्रवर्ती सर्वजनसङ्घसद्यो निर्वाणदीक्षाव्ययापवर्गवर्ष विश्राण जीमूत परमतकलभकेसरी शैवसिद्धान्तस्थापनाचार्य श्रीराजाधिराजपाण्ड्यमहाराजगुरु क्षपणशाक्यादिमहान्धकारनिवारणज्ञानभानु वीक्षणानर्हार्हध्वजोच्छेदनपूर्वक श्रीमद्वृषभध्वजस्थापक शैवसमयकर्त्रे सर्वज्ञपीठारूढ श्रीजगद्गुरु श्रीज्ञानसम्बन्धदेशिकस्वामि वागीशसुन्दरमाणिक्यवाचकस्वामिनाम् अवतारभूत श्रीज्ञानसम्बन्धस्वामि पुनरुद्धृत श्यामलापीठ सर्वज्ञपीठ त्रिनवत्युत्तरद्विशततम गुरुमहासन्निधान अरुणगिरियोगीश्वर परम्परागत अरुणाचल सर्वज्ञपीठ गुरुमहासन्निधान कैलास परम्परागत काञ्ची कैलास सर्वज्ञपीठ त्रयस्त्रिंशदुत्तरद्विशततम गुरुमहासन्निधान नित्योत्सव नित्यमङ्गल नित्यकल्याण नित्यरजित कैलास परम्परागत आदिकैलास नित्यानन्दपीठ महासंस्थान महासिंहासनपीठकर्तः साक्षात् श्रीपरमशिव समुद्भूत कैलास परम्परागत वैवस्वतमनु इक्ष्वाकु हरिश्चन्द्र भगीरथ श्रीरामचन्द्र शूरसेन इत्यादि अनवच्छिन्न सार्वभौम चक्रवर्ति परम्परागत चतुष्षष्टि योगिनी मण्डित चतुष्षष्टि सम्प्रदाय प्रवर्तक मनुधर्मशासन सूर्यवंश प्राप्त सर्वज्ञपीठ सुराङ्गि साम्राज्य मूर्धाभिषिक्त चूडामणे साक्षात् श्रीपरमशिव समुद्भूत कपिल महागुरु पुनरुद्धृत महानिर्वाणिपीठ अष्टोत्तरसहस्र श्रीमहामण्डलेश्वर साक्षात् श्रीपरमशिव सिंहासनाभिषिक्त समस्तगणनायक श्रीमहागणपति समारम्भ अनवच्छिन्न पीठाधीश्वर गुरुपरम्परा प्राप्त अटलपीठ अष्टोत्तरसहस्र श्री अटलपीठाधीश्वर धर्ममुक्तिस्वर्गपुरस्वर्णपीठ त्रयोविंश गुरुमहासन्निधान कैलास परम्परागत आदिपीठ सर्वज्ञपीठ जगद्गुरो श्रीकैलास पुनरुद्धारक श्रीकैलास परमाचार्य श्रीमत्परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्यवर्य सच्चिदानन्द प्रणवस्वरूप श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठ श्रीमज्जगद्गुरु श्रीलश्री भगवच्छ्री नित्यानन्द परमशिव श्री ज्ञानसम्बन्धदेशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिन् अत्रागत्य परिपाल्य च अस्मान् विज्ञानवितरणेन विजयी भव जय जय
हर हर Vaidishvara Paramashiva, the only Purusha, infused life in all beings, enlightening the world through His grace. But when His truth is forgotten, out of ignorance and darkness, diseases arise. Given birth only in the recent days, it hits all the countries hard. Ruthless towards vulnerable communities, the pandemic is at full throttle. Leaders are urged to monitor health inequities and to ensure access to health services. But yet, the pandemic's momentum is hard to overtake. When the world is overwhelmed, when solutions are not made available to all, the divine remains the only option. Engaging in prayers, beings yearn for the divine grace. Seeking refuge at the feet of the ultimate being, Paramashiva, Ishvara, and at his feet, no prayers remain unanswered. Out of pure compassion, he assumed the human form to bestow his
of Supreme Founder of Hinduism, Jagatguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandana. Let's see the disclaimers. Let's see the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. What is power manifestation? Here from Bhagavan himself explaining what is power manifestation.
All practical things conscious. When they happen to you, due to your chemical hormones up and down, it is powerless. When it happens to you out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerful. When you fall into sin, it is powerless. When you enter into sin, it is powerful. When you fall into dream, it is powerless. When you decide to dream, it is powerful. So I have added an ultimate power, which is Durya, the Durya, into a whole doing, manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is not but cognitive shift. It's not work. It's cognitive shift. This is cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is supposed to be. Being alive, static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these things have no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation, cognitive shift, raising to a different, not one.
Now let's understand who is Paramashiva. Bhagavan himself has beautifully explained the Paramashiva in all of us.
Paramashiva, thus manifestation, maintenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion and liberation. He resides in his supreme Paramashiva Swarupa as Ajom, Radom, unborn, beyond formlessness. Is Paramashiva Swarupa. That Paramashiva Swarupa manifests with these 5 faces as Sadashiva, Tatpurusha, Vamadeva, Ahora, Satyojata, Ishana. 5 faces he manifests, and thus the Panchakritya, Srishti, manifestation, Sthiti, sustenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Prabhava, pulling out delusion, Anugraha, liberation. Understand? He does all these 5 jobs. through these 5 phases. Now, listen carefully. Purusham, Vamadevam, Satyojatam, Apuram, Imanam. These 5 phases, thus unchecked vidyas, each phase, each dimension is not just one FACE phase, PHASE phase. It's not just FACE, PHASE. Understand? The creation, not just creation getting created. Even sustenance need to be created. Destruction need to be created. And pulling out of delusion need to be created. Liberation need to be created. Then creation, manifestation need to be maintained. Maintenance, city itself need to be maintained. Destruction, samhara, the rejuvenation need to be sustained, maintained when it is happening. Pulling out of delusion, prabhava, need to be maintained when it is happening. And anugraha, liberation, need to be maintained when it is happening. Those micromilliseconds when it is happening. So understand, Satyojata has 5 phases. Ishana Murti has 5 phases. Vamadeva Murti has 5 phases. Agora Murti has 5 phases. Tatpurusha Murti has 5 phases. So, Tatpurusha Murti has his 5 phases. Agora Murti has his 5 phases. Vamadeva Murti has his 5 phases. Satyojata Murti has his 5 phases. Ishana Murti has his 5 phases. All these 5 Murtis, 5 phases put together is 25 phases of Mahasadashiva.
Paramashiva. Now, who is His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam? Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam is a reviver of Kailasa, the ancient enlightenment civilization, the great cosmic borderless Hindu nation. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam is an avatar from and is a Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. He has made the science of our manifestation yoga temple-based university for humanity, Sovereign Order of Kailasa, led by His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam and Nithyananda Order of Monks, Nuns and Hindu diasporas are working for the global peace and to give a superconscious breakthrough to humanity. Nithyananda Hindu University, world's largest, the extended campus in 150 countries, is collecting, organizing, preserving, time capsuling, decoding, spreading, and reviving 20 million source book of Hinduism. 64 sacred hearts, science like Ayurveda, music, dance, sculpting, astrology, Vastu, and many more. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Shamala Pita Sarvanya Pita, ancient apex body of Hinduism, and present Emperor of Suryavamsa Sarangi Samrajyam, has His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam has survived the worst prosecution of multiple assassination attempt on person and character by anti-Hindu elements. Bhagavan has given the pramanas, the evidences in all levels for us to understand the science of power manifestation. The science of power manifestation is authentic, time-tested, scientific, and foolproof. The pramanas are the evidences. The pramana from the Shastras, the Shastra pramana, evidence from the Shastra, the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures. Apta Pramanas, the experience of the Rishis, Ganas, Munis, Nayanamas, Alvars, Siddhas, all of them who lived as authority of Hinduism, manifesting all the powers of Paramashiva, which is time-tested, verified, and scientific. Atma Pramana, account of His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam's this millennium's avatar's personal experiences of the power manifestation, his very own Leelas. Shakshi Pramanas, experience of the millions of disciple devotees, followers all around the world, initiated by Bhagavan into the science of our manifestation. Pratyaksha Pramana, the scientific study measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. Bhagavan has beautifully given the different levels of Pramanas, the evidences of how power manifestation simply happens just by clearing the patterns from the Guru Vak. Let's go to the Shastra Pramanas.
Satsangh Adama, verse number 15. Bhagavan Paramashiva translates, within such a yogi who established
The Shastra Pramana. The evidences from the Shastras.
एवमेकात्मभावेन संस्थितस्य तु योगिनः सर्वज्ञत्वं प्रवर्तेत विकल्परहितस्य तु.
This is from Samyanyato Agama, verse 15, all knowingness in all its fullness. Bhagavan Paramashiva says, within such a yogi who established himself in absolute non-dual oneness with Lord Shiva and who keeps himself free from all sort of differentiation notions, that the excel supreme power of all knowing, Sarvangatva, gets unfolded in all its fullness. Beautifully here he says, keeps himself free from all sort of differentiating notion. How Bhagavan said, how we have obsessive, compulsive, reactionary, destructive patterns that constantly we are throwing a tantrum, our own karmas, and those which are being possessed by us, and we think that is us and get deluded more and more and destroy ourselves, completely destroy ourselves. The more and more the pattern grows in us, the more and more we are destroyed. And Bhagavan says how simple Guru Vak can break those patterns and simply manifest as the ultimate reality. Bhagavan is giving us the most beautiful space for us to break all the pattern and just be in the space of oneness with Paramashiva. When Prahlada was born, he could have chosen just become his father and supported him. But he took the whole space, even as a born child. He took only what Narada told him, that Vishnu is everything, and simply lived that as ultimate. Each time the incarnation takes the greatest step of manifesting a born child, he took only what Narada told him, that Vishnu is everything, and simply lived that as ultimate. Each time the incarnation takes the greatest step of manifesting their leelas to tell us how we can just break the pattern by simple reminder of certain vows, and we can simple obedience makes it destroy everything and manifest our life the way it should, beyond the patterns and beyond the mind, into this super consciousness being itself. More and more how we struggle with the pattern, again and again falling into that, and again when the delusion happens, we forget everything and destroy ourselves. And after we destroy, Bhagavan says, running a car without a brake and a steering wheel, and we crash. Once we crash, we realize that, oh my God, I made a big mistake, I should have listened to Bhagavan. And then we raise ourselves and say, oh, again, when Bhagavan heals us, we say, oh, everything is fine. I just had a small issue in life. Why not everybody have? Again, we fall into it. And Bhagavan again pulls us out. So beautiful. The very nature of Bhagavan is to pull us out. The very nature of us is destroy ourselves. If we break that pattern of destroying ourselves, Bhagavan says, you will be liberated. And simply all that you need to manifest will happen through you. Let's go to the Apta Pramana. Apta Pramana, here beautifully Sri Rama, how he manifested, breaking all that, and he got all his boon realized, sage Vishwamitra gives the knowledge of Shastra and Astra to Lord Rama that empower him with the knowledge of the divine weapons, Divya Astras. Sage Vishwamitra was satisfied with the behavior of Rama in obliging Sri Rama, Lord Rama, the avatar, is obeying the orders of the elders and performing the act that is assigned to him, gives many weapons to Rama, called the Shastra. Even as avatar, they play this Leela for us to make us understand. When we go as under the Guru and Guru gives the Guru Vak, simply following those few steps makes us liberated and showers us the reality that we need, particularly those things that we need, otherwise we would have destroyed the whole life. And they give the astras for us to understand the higher reality. Astra, the weaponry, and categorized mainly into two types. One is the Shastra, the weapons like swords and different things. The other is the projectile missiles invoking by reciting the hymns. Thus, Lord Rama gains this knowledge of Shastra, Astra from the sage Vishwamitra. This is from Valmiki Ramayana, obedient role to get the knowledge of this. He is the person who is ruling the whole universe, maintaining the whole universe, the Vishnu avatar. But here he plays the Leela. Bhagavan himself has played the Leela, he says, as he goes for the Madhubakari Bisha and reviver of the Kailasa. Again and again, if we look back, these higher sciences, higher reality, they breaks off constantly running a chaos, riots, kind of powerless, disease, death. And it's the only solution. Instead of you do Annadan and Seva in the temple, just doing Annadan and the Jnanalaya and doing the Ratha Seva, simply in 4 months you can break all your patterns. He has given us the greatest solution for us to really manifest all the powers. Let's go to the Apta Pramana, Atma Pramana. Bhagavan himself speaks here his own Leela.
It will take at least 2 hours for me to complete the puja. I cannot practice puja, of course, because as a thing I have been doing. That's plan. I cannot practice cleansing. There are many methods of things. I cannot do Ajapa. By the time I repeat the mantra second or third time, already samadhi. But still I practice something. That is complete something. Understand the importance of this process. Whereas I am not talking about sample submission, the attitude of imbibing you need to have in front of the Guru. No, that is secondary. I am not even talking about that. Have that attitude in everything. When you look at a building, have that attitude of imbibing. You will imbibe whatever you need to from that. You will be enriched. When you need, the file will come up. Your book. Start with that attitude of imbibing. Whatever you are imbibing, then it is part of it. Any knowledge, I am not talking about ego. Any knowledge, it can be any complicated, whether it is legal or auditing or HTML code. Any knowledge, I can be 100% sure I can imbibe because I know how to imbibe. Go with the attitude of imbibing. Tattiti pratibadena paripasnena sevaya. Go with that attitude of complete submission. In anything,
Beautifully, Bhagavan says how you go with the attitude of imbibing and simply everything will be your part of your knowledge. And here we have the Shastra Pramana. Shastra Pramana, where the millions of devotees, disciple, followers all over the world, how Bhagavan said he has healed millions of diseases and he has made people enlightened just by asking them to follow simple Guruvak. Here, he has initiated disciple, have got many things correct that she had downloaded just 4 lines from an unknown topic, describing the power of Sarvanyatva. 4 lines of an unknown topic she has downloaded, and simply it matched exactly what all she got it right. Let's go to the guidelines. If you have Jnananjan, you can apply in your third eye and your temples, a pencil, paper, and partner, so that you can ask them to give you some topic which you had no idea of, and you can simply download the whole science. Let's go to the guidelines. If you have a camera, please get the timestamp app on it so that you can record all these moments. Every time you record all these moments and play it back, all the super consciousness that you have manifested simply again and again mirrors in you. So don't miss these moments of recording all these great things that Bhagavan is downloading in you. Ask the partner to show an unknown topic, scan and write 4 lines on that point through the third eye. Verify with the partner if the 4 lines matches as Googling information exactly what it is revealed. If it matches exactly, you have manifested the power completely. If you just feel some Kundalini energy or few words are correct, you have started manifesting, start celebrating. And start celebrating by sharing your video, authentic video, with your friends and family. Again and again, you will start manifest more powers in more depth. Let's go to the instruction. Sit straight with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Bring your awareness to your third eye. Again and again, when you remember Paramashiva, and simply you will be out of all that incompletion. More and more absolute unclutching. When we have the Guru Vak, simply so many reactionary patterns just dissolve and disappear from our life, and we start manifesting the ultimate. So absolute unclutching happens and complete completion happens whenever we start following the Guru Vak. 3 Guru Vak that Bhagavan has given already for Chaturmasya. Participate in anything for the whole reactionary pattern and a life-changing happening for us. We don't have $1 million program to do that. Just simple 4 months of the 4 things that Bhagavan has beautifully said. Just do the seva for Annadan, just do the Jnanalaya seva, distribute the book, take a begging bowl, do the Madhukari Bhiksha, and when they offer even $1, give them the Bhagavad Gita book and take part in the Ratha Seva. Doing all this removes all our reactionary patterns and simply liberates us. Just 4 months of this, our life will be transformed into the ultimate space of oneness with Paramashiva. What a beautiful gift. Nothing happens in 4 months except chaos and confusion. Here, Bhagavan has given liberation just for these 4 months. If we hold that space, simply we'll manifest the highest reality, the superconsciousness breakthrough. Absolute unclutching and complete completion from the outer world again and again for a few minutes. When you manifest these powers now, just recite only as Paramashiva, no other visualization, verbalization, only the moments of the satsang. Contemplate thoroughly on that. Be intense of holding that space continuously for some time till you manifest the powers. That is the biggest tyaga, that Paramashiva is the only space. And continuously do the ajapa japa. Ajapa japa raises your frequency and simply manifest as powers with a deep listening till it becomes the ajapa japa. When you chant the Mahavakya, Bhagavan has initiated us into many Mahavakyas. If we chant with the deep listening, simply we get raised into the oneness with Paramashiva, the Shaktipada, the Bhava, how Bhagavan enters into the Kalabhairava Bhava and simply radiates as Kalabhairava. You can enter into your Bhava as Paramashiva himself, and Swamiji will simply manifest as Pra Shakti through you. So let's chant and entangle in the oneness capsule, chant the Mahavakya, contemplate on the powerful satsang with the powerful words that he has given, and Chant this Mahavakya, visualizing Paramashiva in your third eye. Let's start chanting, and whatever gets downloaded, start writing down. And at the end of the session, we'll simply start verifying the details. Now sit straight with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Start chanting the Mahavakya intensely.
Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's strength manifest in all our third eye. Let the Amrita force, let the Paramashivoham manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overthrow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's strength manifest in all our third eye. Let the Amrita force, let the Paramashivoham manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overthrow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Paramashivoham. 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 Nityananda Paramashivam. Nityananda Paramashivam. Nityananda Paramashivam. Nityananda Paramashivam. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita force, let the Vati open up. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita force, let the Vati open up. Manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Nityananda Paramashivoham.
Beautiful. Whatever Paramashiva has shown and whatever you have written down, please verify authentically. We know with mind we can play games, but Paramashiva manifesting in us is the ultimate space of oneness. That very experience is something different. So authentically verify, and we're going to have one more cycle. Whatever you have manifested, just surrender to Bhagavan's lotus feet. Again and again, when we surrender, humbly ask Paramashiva to manifest in us and ask the whole thing, whatever topic, how Bhagavan said, when you humble is not something being polite, it is something which is less ego, Bhagavan says. Humbly surrender to that, whatever it is, a book or a topic, just surrender and say, Paramashiva, reveal that for me to understand. When you are in the humble space, simply that whole science gets revealed. That's how you can learn anything Bhagavan says and download anything from this world. And everything reveal itself. In ancient time, they did not have microscope and telescope. They just humbly surrendered, and simply the whole revelation happened. That is what Bhagavan says. There are simple things way the nature works for us to understand the higher reality, higher purpose. No need to do hard work. We have to just do surrendering. All our ideas, views, everything, and simply Bhagavan will manifest in us. Now, let's sit straight. Let's take a new topic. Ask the partner to give a new topic, and you can simply be in oneness with Paramashiva. You are in complete oneness, forgetting your body, mind, everything, and for a few seconds you are just witnessing the whole Paramashiva in you. Those are the moments simply you go to that bhava, the oneness that you experience, Shakti Pada that happens. When you have the oneness capsule here, one is entangling, quantum entangle simply happens. And when you're chanting and when you're in the bhava, simply the side effect will be the 4 lines that you need to reveal. You don't have to think, you don't have to plan, how do I write? I don't know anything. I don't know what topic she's even talking. I don't know what the word is. I can't even pronounce it. Do not bother. Just be in the space of Paramashiva. That will be the side effect. How Bhagavan said, the Bishop is the all I did, and simply the side effect is the Kailasa itself. So just being in the humble space of surrendering to Bhagavan's lotus feet, we can imbibe anything into such reality. So let's surrender to Bhagavan's lotus feet with a deep gratitude and ask Bhagavan to reveal whatever needs to reveal with that topic. Now sit straight, visualize Paramashiva, contemplate on the powerful satsang, very important satsang for everybody, and continuously chant the Mahavakya with a deep listening till it becomes a japa japa. Bhagavan says the jatagni in the stomach simply starts coming up, and if you offer the mantras, simply it becomes the reality. So with simple obedience, let's all manifest the power of Sarvanyatva just by surrendering to Bhagavan's lotus feet and chanting the Mahavakya. Let's start the second cycle. Sit straight, visualize Bhagavan and start chanting the Mahavakya.
Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's burden in all our burdens. Amrita force, let the Vati open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our burdens. Paramashivoham. 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 Nithyananda Paramashivam. Nithyananda Paramashivam. Nithyananda Paramashivam. Nithyananda Paramashivam. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's burden manifest in all our burdens. Let the Amrita force, let the Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
So beautiful. Whatever you have manifested now, you can share it in the Kailash Kotyar Manifesting Power Group by typing tinyurl.com/powermanifestation. You can share your videos, your powerful cognition, your declarations, and your power manifestation photos, and whatever you want to share, thanking Swamiji and tagging your friends and family and asking also them to come for the next satsang, next power manifestation. Simply when you start sharing, causing others reality, Bhagavan says, Madhukari Bhiksha is the way I created my Kailasa. If a nation could be created just by a begging bowl, why not your desires? Why not your goals? Simply by sharing all these great moments, the powerful cognition and the power manifestation, just thanking Swamiji is the great contribution from all of us for our life. Causing is the only way to reality that Bhagavan has given many times to us, and that is why extreme power manifestation is extreme causing. So make sure you share this in tinyurl.com/power manifestation and tag us to your friends and families, thanking Swamiji. That would be the beautiful thing that we can experience as Paramashiva's gift today. Everything, whatever you manifested or not manifested, surrender to Bhagwan's lotus feet. Again and again, surrendering to Bhagwan's lotus feet simply gives us more and more depth in our verbalization, visualization, and cognition. So with that, thanking Swamiji, let's end this session with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you so much for participating in the power manifestation today, and see you after the next satsang for more power manifestation. Thank you, Nithyananda.